Welcome back, Embers, or if you're new here, welcome to the Campfire Crew. My name is Stone. My pronouns are they, them, and we're going to try and get this film before the sun goes down. It is directly in my eyes right now, and it is blinding me. So today we're going to be doing, as you can tell by the title, my finale for Pan Those Palettes. This isn't a palette from that. So before we get started, I really want to quickly say, I know I'm very late on this. I was supposed to film it in the first, it's like halfway through the month. What happened was in December, we needed to get our apartment sprayed, and then I was going to do all this stuff, film a bunch of videos when I had time off work, but I was sick the entire time, the entire like 10 days I was off work, plus 2 extra days. So I was like coughing, I could barely talk, I was sneezing a ton, so that wasn't possible, and we're getting our apartment sprayed again. It's a whole thing. But December and January were really busy. I just didn't have time to get a lot of stuff done. I'm still pretty behind, but I have finally gotten an update ready for you guys. If you're new here, I work on these 2 palettes. This one is have 4 shades in this palette, get to 15 uses by the end of the year. I'll tell you what I did in December, but I'm not counting anything I've done up until now because the goal was to do it in the year. And then this was try and pan every shade. We had 1 shade left last time. If you see me looking down, it's at my sticker covered notebook. So around here we go over this palette first because we are just doing a usage goal, so it's less exciting. So this is what this palette currently looks like. I ended up getting rid of this shade, but that wasn't originally from this palette anyway. So Blazed is this shade, and I originally was using Parthenos, then I hit pan on it. If you can see that, after 5 uses, I decided to transfer the other 10 uses I had left into this shade Blazed, and I managed to use it 1 more time in December for a total of 8 uses. So I'm 2 uses shy of my goal for this year, but again, I was sick, Christmas, just a lot of stuff happened, and honestly, it's been quite a year. So I'm just water under the bridge. It's okay to not meet goals, but that's what I managed to do on that, and that's still a lot more usage than I probably would have gotten on the shade otherwise. So the next shade we're going to talk about is this shade. I have black all over my hands again. This shade Patina. I also used this shade once in December for a total of 12 uses, so I'm 3 uses shy on Patina, but again, that's a lot more use than I would have gotten otherwise, so I'm pretty happy about that. Then we have the shade Majesty, and I managed to use the shade Majesty 2 more times in December for a total of 15 uses. So I managed to actually finish my goal with this. It has quite a decent dip, but I still think it would take another at least 10 uses to get to pan on this shadow. But still, it has a nice dip now, and I love this shade, so I'm happy that that was one of the shades I managed to get to 15 uses on. And then we have Nemesis, and I also used Nemesis 2 times in the month of December, also reaching 15 uses. So I managed to hit goal on these 2 and be just a couple off from these 2 shades. Overall, I'm pretty happy with my usage on this palette, even though I didn't meet my goal in the month of December in the year like I wanted to. I'm still pretty happy with it. And yeah, I ended up getting a lot of use out of it. So you know what? I will call that a win, even though I did just... Okay, I need to take the black out of this palette. It's crumbled. Give me a minute. Well, that was dramatic. So now, this is what my palette looks like. The black completely shattered, and it has been very crumbly, honestly, for quite a while, so I decided to just let it go. I have a black in my other Pan That palette, so, yeah. Loved that I got that on camera. So fun. But life goes on. And now we're going to talk about the Carnival 3 palette now that that dramatic thing has happened. Also, don't mind my hair. I cannot find the cord to charge my buzzer so I can shave my head again. So it's just kind of growing out, and my hair does this when it grows. It just stands straight up. So it's a little weird. Also, I need to shower this weekend, along with everything else I need to. I'm not going to think about it anymore because it's stressing me out. Okay, so like I said, there is only one shadow that we needed left to pan in this, which is why I ended up extending this, because I just wanted to get it done, because I'm excited for everything to be panned. And as you can probably guess, we did it. We did it. This is the shade that needed to be panned. And everything else has pan in it already. It took me so the shade is called Cocoa. That was the last one I needed to hit pan on. In December, I used it 3 times, and in January, I used it 3 times. So it took 6 more uses to get this tiny, teensy little baby pan, but we did it. I'm so excited. I'm probably not going to use this shade again very much. I have loved using this palette. Look at how good it looks. Everything has pan, even if you can't see it from every angle, but everything has nice, shiny pan now. I am so freaking excited about it. It looks so used and well loved. And I'm going to put this palette away for at least a couple months. Maybe I'll bring it out in the summer because it's so fun and colorful, because I am doing a project 10 uses, so I need to use everything in my collection, including this palette 10 times, and then a no pan left behind, so I have to use every shade in this palette at least once. But I am going to give myself a few months off from this palette, because I've now been working on this for over a year and a half. And it's finally, let's see it one more time. Sorry, I blinded you. Let's see it one more time. Oh, that's so satisfying. And it's finally done. I'm so excited. This project is over because this guy is done. This was a lot. This is a 40 pan palette. It was a lot to pan. And now I feel like I have a really good understanding of this palette as a whole. Let me tell you how many times I've used the palette in total since owning it. I got it in 2020, I believe it was 2020 for my birthday, maybe 2021, but it is, now that it's 2025, I believe it is 4 to 5 years old. I'm pretty sure 4 years old. I'm gonna go with it is a 4-year-old palette now, because that's what I've always said. This is a 4-year-old palette now, and I have used it 150, 60, 70, 80, 90, 200, 10, 20, 5, 228 times. 228 times total I have used this palette. Let's go over some stats. My least used shade looks like it's Amethyst, which is, did it say Amethyst? Oh, Amethyst. This one right here, which is 9 uses total. This is like total ever. 9 uses in this palette, in this shade to hit pan. And my most used shade is probably, I would assume, that's 10, 20, 30, 5, 36, 37. Yeah. So my least used shade is Amethyst. My most used shade is Blackberry with 37 uses to hit pan. And yeah, this is what it looks like. I'm so happy with this. I'm going to put it away, and the project is now complete. Thank you if you've been watching this from the beginning of this year, or if this is your first video. I'm very excited, and I am gonna go. We are closing the chapter on my Pan That palette for this year. I am not doing a Pan That palette, at least for 2025. Maybe in 2026 I will do another one, because I really did enjoy my time with this. If I ever do another Pan That palette, it is not going to be a palette this big, for 2 reasons. 1, it's exhausting, and 2, I do not own another palette this big, and I probably will never buy another palette this big. This was my second ever palette. My Divina was my first. These are my 2 oldest palettes, which I got both in 2020, right when the pandemic was midway through, not midway, but during the pandemic is when I really got into makeup. These are my first 2 pieces of makeup, my first 2 eyeshadow palettes. They're old, and now they are well loved, and I am really excited about it. And okay, I will see you guys soon. I will probably post another video. I'm gonna be trying to catch up on all my videos, so stay tuned. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you later. Bye. Also, do we like my eyeshadow? I think it's pretty cute. Okay, bye for reals. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.